ladies and gentlemen. I recognise a few faces here, and I think we all have one thing in common. We all love our city. And that's what we're here to talk about today. The combined authority, the elected mayor, what our city does, where it should be, where the politicians in London are trying to push us to, and everything about the decision about the combined authority and the elected mayor. So let's just start off with why we're here. Because the government are basically saying all the time that the Northern Powerhouse is the place to be. And if we don't get involved with a combined something or other, we will miss out. That is the hand of authority telling us what we should do. They did the same in a funny sort of way with the elected mayor, which some of you may realise I stood up against because I don't like elected mayors. Basically, they gave us the opportunity of voting on it. They had a referendum at the same time as the election, so it wasn't too difficult for people to vote. But it was very much vote for it or vote against it. We won't impose anything of you. And surely enough, Coventry voted against it, Birmingham voted against it, Nottingham voted against it, Bradford, Leeds, Manchester, most of the big cities voted against it. There are some, and one or two work, but most people voted against an elected mayor. And that's exactly the situation that we're in now. Only they're saying, if you, with the combined authority, you will have an elected mayor. Hang on a minute, we voted not to have an elected mayor, so not really too sure. But let's talk about the city of Coventry and why we should or we shouldn't go in to a combined authority. Our city is a wonderful city, it's a large city. It's got an awful lot going for it. It's a big village. A lot of people know each other. It's got a lot going for it with the universities, with tremendous industry. I was talking to the young lady over there. She lives down in Brighton. Why does she live in Brighton? Because she went to university in Brighton and decided she liked it and stayed. That happens a tremendous amount in Coventry. We are lucky enough to have two fantastic universities. Coventry University winning everything that there is to win at this moment in time, and will probably end up as the best university in the country very, very soon. Warwick University, phenomenal work being done at Warwick University on all aspects of global situations. There's nothing Warwick University and Coventry University don't touch. And they're getting involved more and more. Warwick Business Group, Coventry University are doing exactly the same, just over there. They are taking over many buildings in the city. Is that good or is that bad? I'll leave you to talk about that one as well. I'm sure that will come up. But the universities are driving this area forward. So we must ask the question, are we big enough to stand on our own 2 feet? Should we go with Warwickshire? Should we go with Birmingham, Sandwell, Walsall, Wolverhampton, Solihull, and be part of that group? Now, if you believe George Osborne, the Northern Powerhouse and the connectivity of HS3, as he calls it, is all important within the Northern Powerhouse. I totally disagree with him. There are much worse areas in rail transport, certainly, in the country, than just the northern area. And with the mess that rail track are in, God knows when there will be any improvements to that area or anywhere else. But certainly, he keeps quoting the Northern Powerhouse. If that is the case, well then it might be, and we are here to talk about a decision that Jaguar Land Rover, the universities, Penso, London Taxis, Severn Trent, all the companies in Coventry are actually relying on. Therefore, the people of Coventry are relying on a decision, being the right decision, on whether to go for a combined authority. Coventry as a standalone city, as I say, is a bit like a big village. It's on its own. It's got one football team. It's got one station. It's got one city centre. It's got 2 rugby teams. It's got the wonderful Ricoh Arena. It's got history to die for. It's got tremendous history. Back from 1043 with the Earl of Mercia, the first cathedral, one of 3 cathedrals, St Mary's, St Michael's, and now the new cathedral, which is many, many years old. But a fantastic background of history for our city. As I touched on then, the industry, with Jaguar Land Rover driving forward, the headquarters in Coventry, the global headquarters of Jaguar Land Rover in Coventry. They are spreading the world and Wolverhampton, but the global headquarters is in Coventry. A tremendous flagship for our area. Whether it be Godiva, whether it be Jaguar Land Rover, whatever, this city is a global, international, national treasure with what we have. So this is why this decision is important. If this is the way the government is going, well then we have to go with it. More than possible, they'll change their mind in 10 years' time and turn it back to Coventry and Warwickshire. But if we do decide to go, it's got to be for the betterment of the people in the city and the industry in the city, which is leading forward. So what has this city got? We've got tens of thousands of students, tutors, people in industry, an excellent education system headed up by David Kershaw, who I've had a tremendous amount of respect for. A pretty well-run council. When you look at Birmingham's financial position, bearing in mind that's who we would be joining up with, is that right or is that wrong? Have they got their problems? Are they going to bring their problems to us? Who knows? But certainly, Coventry is a pretty well-run council. Now, the combined authority is, according to the pundits, going to be involved with fire, police, transport. Well, actually, aren't we controlled by the West Midlands on those things at this moment in time? And certainly as far as roads go, having sat in traffic for the last 18 months for many, many hours, I think we're doing okay in achieving money to improve our road system. See, Coventry is geographically as perfect as you can get. I was talking to Anthony, and we were talking about Brighton. They have 2 offices, apparently, Brighton and Edinburgh. What a journey. As a Coventry City supporter, I go to most of the away matches. We are not far from anywhere. I have people, friends, who are directors of the likes of Plymouth and Sunderland. Now, you've really got some problems on travelling then, when Sunderland are playing down in the south or whatever. The journeys are terrible. We have no journey to an English city, really, longer than 3 hours. OK, if you want to go down on the holidays, it'll take you 6 or 7, but that's normally due to traffic. But certainly, Coventry is in a perfect position geographically. So we have an awful lot going for us. We are a wonderful city. We are full of work. We are full of education at all levels. We are full of everything that matters. On the recreation side, We have a football team. We have 2 rugby teams now. We have, at this moment in time, great swimming facilities, basketball team, rugby league, ice hockey, speedway. What a fantastic array of sport. Athletics, fantastic. Great facilities, tennis clubs. We have a great facility here for everything that we want to do. So leisure time, business time, enjoyment time. We're very close to Warwickshire. In many ways, one has to look at the local enterprise partnership. It works very well. What's going to happen to that if we go to the combined authority? These are all things that have got to be answered. But there's one thing for sure. If this is the way the government are going, we owe it to the people of Coventry and to the industry of Coventry to make sure that we are in it to win it. I'm sure that your debate will go round and round and talk about this. It's great to see you all here this morning to discuss that. But it's a very serious decision. And as I say, I've made my case very clear on the elected mayor. But whether that will come to fruition, I don't know. I just don't believe that another level of authority is needed. We have Coventry, we have Coventry City Council. We could have a combined authority. We could have an elected mayor. Don't agree with that. Democracy is the ideal. There's no reason why they can't have a chairman. I think they've already elected Bob Slay, great name, as chairman of the group that's leading it. But we certainly don't need an elected mayor. So that's my views. Coventry is a wonderful place. It's a big decision. It's got an awful lot going for it in every possible way. And I hope that you all enjoy debating it. And I'm sure that you will come out with exactly the right answers at the end of your debates. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. That was fantastic. And also, I think, a really good introduction to the idea or the concept of identity. So, as Joe said, I live in Brighton. And when Brighton and Hove merged to become Brighton and Hove City, the council of the day thought that the best identity for it was between Downs and Sea, which has the benefit of being absolutely accurate. It is indeed between the Downs and the sea. But that would be like saying Coventry's identity is just off the M6, which is true as well, but not really what makes Coventry Coventry. And one of the things that we want to get to today is what your views are on Coventry as a place where you live, as a city, as a place to be, as a city centre, but also as a place in its region that has, as Joe said, an enormous impact, an enormous history, and is known across Europe and across the world.